Hello, Glitch Reaper here. I'm back for another mob battle. In this case, I'm trying to complete the second part to my Wither versus the, well, Journey into the Light bosses. Now, there is at least one that I think is bugged, so I won't be able to do scale. But the others of the remaining ones should be fine, as well as a rematch versus Lazier. So, we're gonna go with that, see how things turn out, because it's a different dimension, so different things are here. And there may have been something that was having issues in the Nether, so I still have some debugging to do on this profile if I'm ever going to actually really use it. I mean, I've been kind of wanting to, but at the same time, I've been having some technical issues. So we'll see how this goes. For now, let's go into the actual mob battle, rather than worrying about this profile and some glitchiness. Now, sometimes they might try to fly away, and I may have a solution to that. It's because there is a spawn egg for a vanilla wither that I can theoretically use. Okay. Now, are you going to be able to fly all the way away, or are you going to get targeted correctly? So when that happens... Oh yeah, he saw you. There's no getting away here. On top of that, now that there hasn't been as much time for things to spawn in, this should be a lot better. Now, a weird thing I've noticed is the Wither's name is on top, Stalker's is on the bottom. But Stalker's gauge is on the top, and the Wither's is on the bottom. This is before the big 1.9 changeover in how boss bars were handled, so you might get a little confusion there. So watch carefully as they go through. Oh wow, that was a surge. Yeah, there might be a few lag lag pauses, there are lag slowdowns followed by tremendous rushes where it all catches up. So that could happen. I've kind of been doing some testing with this, and that's kind of how this one turns out. A bit less so on the others. Thank you, Tragic MC2, for that achievement. That's what happens when your doom meter fills all the way up. I'm gonna stay right here and wait until they rush. I mean, they will still fight during this slowdown. It's not complete slowdown, but it is very sluggish for a moment. And since he is fighting back, the Wither will take damage. Let's see if he'll get down to halfway or so. But for right now, it's just in this weird slowdown, and I don't know if there's anything I can do about that because of some of the other entities around here. I mean, I could try to maybe... Well, I think I've got a plan, but I'm not entirely sure how well that would work, because it might temporarily make things worse. So I don't think I should try to suck up their items like I normally do. So I would just temporarily multiply it. And it might just cause others to respawn, so I don't think, because of the way this dimension is handled, that that'll be a possibility. I could do a game rule to slow something down. No, that's not it. There we go. This'll correct that issue. Because as they gradually despawn, they won't respawn to go along with it, and only force spawns like them will work out. So this should correct that problem. Quick rule of thumb, if a game rule isn't quite how you think, either remove or put on do right before it. Like do mob spawning, I was like, okay. Right? Okay, this should speed up a little while. If I'm right and it's just the mob spawning, this shouldn't have as many of those paused moments. Right now they're getting caught up. Man, that was a slow projectile. Well, even normally it's kind of a bit slow. With this kind of weird pause, it's not quite the same. It's just like much slower. Can you two just... Okay, that's better. You know, the weirdest thing is I don't think it's just the pause. I think they're really hovering and just shooting at each other from this position right now. Like they're going, yeah, we don't need to really fly around. We could just stay here. This guy looks like a huge endermite to a degree again. I mean, seriously does. Kind of long, purplish, red eyes. I mean, seriously. I mean, there's a definite resemblance here. Okay, maybe if I move around them gently to cause some other things to despawn. Just kind of work around the radius. Yeah, that helped. That really helped. Yeah, I'm causing other things to despawn since they won't respawn. Also, this twirling view seems to give you a pretty good idea what's going on. Okay, this should work from here, though. I don't need to do that again. Yeah, he's just hanging right there. Ow. He's not stuck. He can fly. Wither's even unburying him, if anything. So, you can try to escape the Wither. It's not going to work, but you can try. The Wither is just bumbling it. It's like, you're goner. It's like, face my barrage. Because the Wither's barrage is better than this one's barrage, so... Yeah, Skystalker's barrage is not as fast as the Wither's, because this guy's just lugging one shot at a time. The Wither gets triple because of those 3 heads, so, yeah. This does not look good for Skystalker. It is totally getting bubbled. Oh boy. I mean, seriously. Although it does seem to be kind of confusing the Wither somehow. I mean, he's still shooting all the right direction, but he's kind of doing this weird jiggle. What's up with that? Is he trying... Is he literally trying to dance on this enemy's head or something? Because I know the hitbox isn't quite what you think it is, but still, that's kind of weird. Oh, might be able to melee him now. That might give him a little bit of a chance. But I don't think that's going to add up in time, because it's just way too low. Back there it goes. Yep, Skystalker has been defeated. Things obtained are fluffy. Wither, I'm gonna have to eliminate you now to get a nice fresh start. Although, I might just let you blow those things up just to clear them out. Is it just me, or are they a little bit improved? Okay, I'm going to clear out this stuff real fast because I need to get rid of a few entities in the world. Oh, it's a maze of leaves. Don't worry, everything else should go away soon. And then I can smack this guy out of the way. Yeah, super sword. Its name of entropy is certainly appropriate. Don't need this stuff here. So just shoo. I'm over accumulating things, and I'm not even trying. This is a mob battle, not a playthrough. I don't need to actually accumulate lots of stuff right now. Thank you very much. Now, I will also spawn in Thunderbird next, which isn't quite what you'd expect out of a Thunderbird, so... Yeah, doesn't even have its name on the thing, so I'm wondering if that's kind of work in progress at this stage, which means it might not be worked on more, although I might check and see if there was actually a new version after the one I've got here, because it's been a while. So, yeah, I'll check in Journey into the Light on that and see how that's working. Okay. It's not registering it immediately this time, even though there is that fight before it's ready thing that that goes on this version. Although that doesn't directly apply to players, it applies to other mobs first. Players can trigger it after the fact, but not directly. Kind of weird. have to be like associated. But yeah, again, that is kind of weird. Okay, maybe we're still getting a bit of slowdown. I know I turned mob spawning to false. Maybe it's something with the mod itself. I mean, it is possible. It has about 1024 compared to the Wither's 300, so this could be interesting. If the Wither pulls this off, it'd be kind of a bit amazing, actually. But it's just getting in a few hits before its main blast, so we'll see. Will this make the difference? Especially when this is about to happen right about... Yep, come on. Engage the Big Bang. I'm sorry, maybe this dimension is laggier than I thought. But the Nether isn't as much of an option due to whatever happened before at random. So I may have to try yet another dimension and see how that goes. If I can, that is. Okay, that caught up. It's got reach. I mean, it's hitting the Wither back. It doesn't seem to be a projectile. I think it just has some serious melee reach. So yeah, this is definitely a highly extended attack. And now it's hitting easier because the Wither can't ascend. It's got its Wither shield on. And clearly, it's not as much of a factor in certain ways because this one isn't using arrows. So yeah. Wow. The Wither was beaten by what seems to be an angry peacock. Or maybe a turkey. I mean, this isn't like, well, Thunderbirds are supposed to be. A true Thunderbird is supposed to be a humongous, like, giant condor-like thing. This is so not a condor. Although, good for this one. It did win against the Wither. That's not exactly the easiest thing to do. So, yeah, and some of the stuff seems to be pretty good, so later on that could be a pretty big deal. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Forefoot, U-dor, Correlator, Withering Beast. I still don't think Withering Beast is going to turn out so well, because I think it'll probably consider it aligned because Withering. So, yeah, there's that thought, so I don't think I'll try. I'll try and see if it does in fact work. I mean, kind of ironic if it does. I think I'll go with Forefoot next. Move on to U-dor. This guy's also pretty big. He's got 900 HP. Yep, the lag is definitely going down more, so I think it was in fact a mob spawning thing, and it finally leveled out. But to help it out, I just need to grab a few things. I'm going to try not to force field them. Trying not to. Staying out of their way. Letting them do their thing. The Wither does seem to be winning. I mean, dude, you look like you've got multiple bows. Can you not use that to try to keep him at bay? Because, I mean, seriously, I know that it's taking some damage, but I think it's primarily its own attacks. This guy might have some reach. I mean, he has what's apparently, like, a pair of double arms, so... Oh, he's got the Wither down to half. Okay, maybe he was hitting him. No? Not really? Okay, now the Wither's even closer and not hitting itself. Oh, maybe it was firing invisible arrows. That could be cool. Oh, and it just regenerated pest and then got hit. Okay, so it's firing invisible arrows. That's interesting. Arrows I can't even see. So if you're ranged only and you're firing invisible arrows, then the Wither is totally gonna win. There's like no way you're not gonna get stomped. Because the Wither is immune to arrows once it gets below halfway, so you're getting it. You're totally getting it. The Wither's regeneration is just too good for you. It's you're not going to. No chest? No chest for me to try to work with? Oh. That's a little different. I'll have to deal with that some other way. Poof. Yeah, that happened. Okay. So, on to the next one. Forefoot did lose, so, sorry. you did not make it well. So the next one should be, U-dor. I'm going to keep this stuff along so I can just quickly shoot it into a chest if I get another one, which would be kinda nice. Did I have two? I don't need 2 spawn eggs. I got that there, so that's good. Okay, so let's go with U-dor. See if it's got any tricks that might at least be able to harm the Wither temporarily. He's big. Very kingly. But is he king enough to take on the Wither? We'll find out. Again, I'll try to grab some of this stuff to reduce lag. I think that period is over, though. I think this dimension, it was just with mobs. Because it was primarily mobs and entities, I think that'll be over with. I hope. Seriously, I do hope. He seems to have some melee or something. But again, there's always these times where you're wondering, is the Wither shooting so close that it's harming itself? I don't think so, because that wasn't the case with the other one, so it's got to have at least some melee attack. But U-dor is getting just blasted. So another one that the Wither will crush. Seems like primarily the ones with extended reach have been a lot better than the ones with actual projectile attacks, oddly enough. But, I mean, you think it'd be the other way, and I have this experience just orbiting me. Okay, U-dor, you might be kingly normally, but you are getting pummeled by one Wither. He's like, ah! I'm under assault by an angry undead. It's a particularly big one at that. It's got 3 heads, multi-targeting, regeneration. So with the undead, that'd be self-repair. That special shield thing, flight. I mean, seriously, and for that matter, can free itself from blocks. So let's face it, the Wither is a war machine, and U-dor is just totally on the receiving end of that. I think this Wither will generate up to full. And I can just throw in the next boss. That would be kind of a bit of a change. Okay, I can just throw stuff in. This looks almost like a regular chest. Depths portal, King's Sword. Okay, yep, he was totally trying to be a king. Oh, you're not king over this guy. Because that totally did not work. Because Withering Beast I really don't think will work out. Just thinking about it, just the way it sounds and the way it looks, I just don't think they'll fight each other. I think it's just that way. Now, I will, however, cut loose Correlator now and see how things go. I know you're not doing your heralding blast thing, but see if it gets close enough where I might do a rematch. How much health does it say he's got? 950? Okay, this could be interesting. I might have to do a rematch to figure out if this works out. Right now, Correlator is sitting there. Or is it sitting there? Is it flying or sitting there? I think he's set on low hover. Right now, it seems like the Wither is slowly losing, if I'm reading this right. Okay, so you might go down again. I don't think the Heralding Blast would make too much of a difference. It'll depend, because I know it can deal about a couple hundred HP. Or, well, about 70, actually. Not really that high, but about 70 HP damage or something. Depending on the enemy. Okay, this is definitely a point where I know that the Heralding Blast probably will not make a difference. Because there's just too much of a margin between them. And right now, they're really attacking each other. Come on. Can the Wither pull out a victory? How good is this guy's aim, even at point-blank range? Because if he misses too many times, the Wither will still take him out. But I don't think so at this point. I think right now the margin is just too heavy. And at this range, they're just going to hit each other pretty much perfectly. Uh-oh. If he loses interest and doesn't track the Wither, then his minions will allow the Wither to regenerate. I see minions. I see minions. It's chasing them down. And it's going to regenerate from them. This is going to give the Wither an interesting extra margin. It might be able to recover. It might just be able to have this as a good turnaround. How is it ascending with this Wither shield on? How are you doing that? These guys make some very weird noises. Oh, remembered that Correlator was still there. Took a pot shot at him because of multi-targeting. Nice moves, Wither. And now you're moving too fast for it. I don't think it can hit you. I think all you got to do is repair yourself. And then just get back into the fight. And this is a kind of force spawning, so again, it doesn't count towards that whole I turned the mob spawning off rule. But it did force enough creatures in so that that's a problem. Oh, and that catch-up thing happened. Okay, force spawning is something I can't really change. There's like no rule against that specifically, so I can't use that as a thing. Oh, Wither's locked on from a good distance too. This guy does not regenerate though, so this could be seen as a move of desperation. If the Wither finds him again, he is so getting pummeled. Oh, he found him again. Just as I said that, the Wither zoomed around going, hey, I remember I got an enemy that I have to deal with that's getting out all these little guys, so I'm going to come back and shoot back at him. Now the Wither is now clearly back above halfway, so its margin is gaining. This could be a long drawn-out fight, but the Wither could pull this completely around now. If only he had just stuck with his projectiles and not actually summoned minions to give the Wither extra things to shoot at and thus heal from, because it does get an extra bonus to its health every time it actually directly hits a target. And on top of that, it means that he's zooming around something else and therefore is harder to hit. Because when they were like point blank range to each other, it was easy. But now the Wither is going to get progressively harder to deal with because it's just, I mean, that thing is definitely not going to be able to regenerate itself, so therefore there's no way that it can win in the overall run against the Wither. But yeah, this natural enclosure does help against things that would despawn from the top of the world, and that's kind of why I decided to go here. But I can see this dimension is a bit laggy. It may partially be because I have Thaumcraft 5 in here, and the crystals contribute a little bit, because everything with a little bit of light does. There's a lot of other glowing things around here, so I don't think that would be the big thing overall. So I think it's just a kind of laggier dimension. So I might need to tweak a few things eventually before I go for this all out. With their skull in the middle of nowhere. I think I can call this... this might need to be called as an interesting draw, because it seems that they've kind of both withdrawn from interest of each other. I mean, unless I find where Correlator went, I can't really guide the Wither back. But I can kind of try to find him. It's kind of in this general area. Okay, let's hunt for him together. I still hear those sounds. Oh, you did find him. Or some of it. There he is. This is actually a much longer fight than I thought it was going to be. And seriously, I've had kaiju that didn't take this long. Of course, usually you're dealing with them with really big things and on yourself, but yeah, you know what I mean. And actually some of the mob battles with them didn't take that long either, because they just really hit each other really hard, really fast. Where are you, Correlator? There it is. Okay, I can see this is going to be a very annoying boss battle eventually. How much do you even have left? 9%? Well, in a closer cage match, I'm pretty sure that this thing probably... Well, I'd have to have a pretty decently sized one, so I may need to do this again sometime as a rematch of a very special nature. So I'm going to move on and say that that's somewhat inconclusive. So, yeah. Because I think I've dealt with that long enough. And if I get far enough away, there won't be any more mob spawning, so I can kind of get past the lag zone. So let's just go over here and do something else. So this is may need rematch. I mean, I was going to rematch it with Lazier, so I mean, we'll see. That might actually be an even worse case scenario, so we'll have to see how that works. Because it's kind of similar, but with classic blazes, so yeah. Because I do want to do Withering Beast last. Because again, I really don't think they'll fight each other in the first place. I think they'll be aligned. At least that's what I'm estimating. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just thinking that that'll probably be how it turns out. You missed him? Oh, no, you did hit. Okay. It seems to always happen on startup. Maybe I should use the spawn egg. There's something's got to be causing this. Maybe it's the particles that they use? Let me see if I can do something about that. I've got it on decreased. Let's see if particles off helps. Some are still forcefully particles. Oh, it deflected. That was awesome. It's helping to a degree, but I wouldn't really call it like a perfect thing. So, yeah. So let's see if Lazier will actually let us see this whole thing correctly, or if it'll go crazy. Some of those ones where they do minions and fly seem to be where they kind of cause some rather dramatic double forfeits, I guess you could say. So, or inconclusive matches, because Correlator did that, and eventually the Wither just kept being able to heal, but also couldn't find Correlator after a while because they got too far apart. So I may need to find a way to bind a very large area, but I'm not 100% certain how that would work. I've kind of got an idea, now that I'm really thinking about it. I think there is a solution where I could kind of create this intermediate step where I could have both Lazier and Correlator in like actual matches where they would have some measure of ability to actually do a bit of both. To be able to go around in the arena and to be big enough for them to move around, but at the same time not lose each other completely. So they'll be able to wander around, see each other again, and going, okay, there we are. So I think I have a good idea how to do that now. And it's kind of a natural idea with this pack, actually. Or this profile, I should say. So, yeah, I could do it that way. So I think I got a good idea how to rematch the really wild ones. Okay. So, maybe that'll be part 3. Because part 1, the initial setup and stuff, with the first 6 or so. Part 2, I'm trying to finish it off, but I'm having issues with ones kind of like Lazier and Correlator. And then later I'll have them specifically rematched. Oh, the explosion may have left a few entities still checking around. Oh, it's not really paused, you just can't see them. It's trying. Kinda knows where he is. Gotta free him up somehow a little bit. Yeah, he sees him now. You know, I've kind of got to do this to help out just a little bit. Just to see each other. Otherwise, they'll just kind of stand there for who knows how long. Of course, the Wither will also destroy blocks over time. Again, we're getting a slowdown. I think it's just how intense this is with the intermediate lighting system that we had at this point. It was kind of going between a few experimental versions of how the lighting system was working, so it could be that it made it have this weird way where the lighting system causes entity lag, because I've eliminated mob spawning. Only 4 spawns should be happening now. And yet I'm still getting this weird lag with the with my mobs here that I'm trying to battle. And then it all catches up again. Again. There we go. Do kind of need to point them out to each other once in a while. But other than that, it seems to be working out okay this time. Lazier is doing some damage to the Wither, but the Wither is doing things far better. Okay, never mind. They solved it on their own this time. The Wither is mining blocks. The Wither is doing work. And even if it's not for its auto mine type ability, it still has the blockbuster shot on occasion. So those two together. He just dropped them and they just totally didn't engage. Oh, you don't know how to minion now, do you? I mean, you had it before, but Lazier, you don't. Apparently, if you're not in the Nether, you don't know how to minion. Seriously, they're just going all the way down there. Up. I think the Wither's starting to see him. He's lobbing a few shots down at him. I think it may have shot its own minion. I think the Lazier just shot one of the blazes in the back before the Wither finished it off. Pretty wild exchange. So apparently that kind of shot isn't technically pure fire damage. Might be a little explosive. Oh, the multi-targeting is certainly working. It's fighting them all. It's going, okay, I'm great in chaos matches. They're trying to burn it out, but the Wither is fireproof. And they are not Wither and explosion proof. So it's going to finish off the minions and call this its own. After all this, we'll definitely have like a definite winner here. Whoa, Incoming. Come on, finish off the minions. Make sure that the business is not left behind. Just no survivors. You must destroy all minions. It actually tried, that last one tried a little bit of effort there, and actually, well, there are a few down there. While it's going to go down to finish them off. Going to be able to toss a few things in here. Not as much this round. Work in progress item. At least it has missing texture. Okay. Various things. And I do believe they're gone. So, rematch with Lazier, more successful. Correlator might be more of a problem. So, I'll try to remember that. Correlator might be more of an issue because of that whole flight thing. But now I'll attempt, and I do mean attempt, to see if he'll fight the Withering Beast. Because again, with Wither being in the name, I'm not 100% certain this is going to work. It might turn out a little awkward. So, that didn't need as much of a rematch as I thought. Okay. So, I guess Withering Beast will be last. I could try another one with Correlator, but I just don't think it's going to work out with that wild way that they keep losing each other. But I could try again and just see which way it goes. Maybe I'll do that off camera because the battle was taking a while, and just report back as to how it went. Because that might be the best way to do this one in particular, because you could see how it was going. So I guess if the setup was a little luckier, and it was gradually losing health, so I figure the Wither would have won in the end. But it kind of had this weird turnaround, because at first the Wither seemed to be gradually lagging behind, and then like it just picked back up whenever it started summoning minions. And when Correlator did that, then the Wither won out because it would just have enough time to regenerate and not be shot as much. So yeah. So let's do Wither versus the Withering Beast and see how this works out. Because I don't think they're going to attack each other. I could be wrong. I could be pleasantly surprised that they're actually aggressive towards each other. But let's see. I mean, the Withering Beast is a huge tri-skeletal thing, kind of like the Wither itself. It has definitely more health, like 750 compared to the Wither's normal 300. But, okay. It will start the fight. Okay. Does that mean that despite how it looks, it's not counting as undead? Something, I mean, the Wither's an undead boss, so... Oh, this is going to be that kind of match. I see. They're going to be just shooting Wither skulls at each other for a while, apparently. Well, one kind of Wither versus another is always interesting, so let's see how this goes. If it can actually speed back up. I might try something extra special this time if I can. Maybe. I'll have to see about that. I'll keep it in mind. They caught up. Explosion happened and they caught up. Oh, but the way they're colored, I'm not sure if I can tell the difference right now. Where's the line? Okay, these are just really mushed together in terms of the boss health bars. Is that thing actually not regenerating? I think with it being a variation of Wither that it would. Well, we'll see, because if it defeats the Wither, I'll be able to know if it regenerates too. And the other way around, we'll know which one's stronger. Well, I was pleasantly surprised. They did fight. Wither is out. Oh, so there's another... and it actually can suffer from withering damage. That's interesting. The Withering Beast is itself wizard. Wizard. Sorry, I mean, you're kind of a bit wizard for beating that wither, but the withering beast is itself withered. There we go. And it does not appear to be regenerating, but the amount of HP that it had over it was definitely a factor, so it did win out, even if just by sheer bulk. I mean, it even survived still being withered after the fact, so that says something. So I'm surprised. I mean, Withering Beast, you have also claimed the title of one of the few that have defeated the Wither here. So far it's been the Withering Beast, the Thunderbird, the Logger. So there hasn't been too many that have. Was there another one? I'd have to recheck before, but I don't think so. I think it was mainly the Logger that was the one from the previous set. So I'm going to do that to get you out. And take care of some other stuff later, so. You could portal piece. Bring beast sword. Okay. So I'm curious what's in some of these because of the way this is set up. But for now, I'll be this is Glitch Reaper. I'll be logging off. It's been an interesting mob battle so far, and hope you come back for another one later. So for now, goodbye for now, everybody.